All right, hey everyone, what's up? What is up? What is up? We're gonna get started today with just some pre-reading for William Shakespeare's Hamlet. I'll explain what I mean by pre-reading in just a second. While I get set up, so I just started watching. Sorry, I just watched Dune, the second movie by Denis Villeneuve. Is that how you pronounce his name? Anyway, I thought it was fine. It was definitely a spectacle. It definitely wasn't bad, but there were certain aspects of it that didn't really scratch the itch that it gave me. So I was thinking about something. I wanted something to read to scratch that itch, and I thought Hamlet might be similar. Basically, I was thinking about a character who is supposed to be a leader and is kind of overwhelmed by the responsibilities that are falling on him or her. And I'm not sure if Hamlet is actually the exact match for that particular trope, but I don't know. It's just something that occurred to mind, and now I'm just gonna try it. So right now in my head, I'm basically just thinking. Today, I'm going to keep it a pretty short stream. I'm going to just do the pre-reading portion of a series of streams, and I will largely be focusing. I'm kind of going to remind myself what Hamlet was all about, why it was a big deal, why it's a big deal, what people love about it or hate about it, and sort of explore all that. And the reason I do that is because that's how actual readers read. Readers don't read because they're assigned things. They read because they're excited to read something. Okay? Readers don't read Hamlet just because someone told them to read Hamlet. It's because they're excited about this idea that they heard about Hamlet, and they're curious if they're going to get the same idea out of it, right? So I think what I'm hoping with these streams, with my reading reaction streams, what I'm hoping that these streams do for you is that they have like a sort of therapeutic effect where maybe you've been sort of traumatized by all the mandatory reading you've had to do in your life, and you never really learned to read for pleasure. Just to enjoy something, especially not something as hard as Hamlet or as hard as Shakespeare. So if that's you, I'm hoping that these streams or series of streams will kind of give you a sense of what it's really like to actually read as somebody who likes reading. And I just want to show you what that looks like, what that feels like, what that sounds like. Okay, so that's my purpose with these streams. So with that, hopefully, with that little explanation out of the way, hopefully you kind of get the purpose of this. And so pre-reading, again, this is just me looking into Hamlet to kind of increase my excitement for reading Hamlet. If the pre-reading is such that I actually cannot get excited about Hamlet, then it's possible that next week I'll actually choose a different book to read. But for now, I'm intending to read Hamlet because, it's kind of long overdue. It's been a long time since I've read Hamlet, so I wanna pick it back up again. All right, so let me show you what I mean. So where do you think I'm gonna go here in Google? Where do you think I'm gonna go first? If you said Goodreads, you're correct. Goodreads, Hamlet. This is a specific version of Hamlet, and I actually am not 100% sure how this works. Ooh, 2012 Best Spoken Word Album. I'm not sure exactly how this works, but basically, uh, I think this entry should include all Hamlets, or does it only include this one Hamlet? I'm not actually too sure. Helios, what's up? So yeah, Hamlet does get. I think Harold Bloom said that Hamlet kind of invented the individual. I'm not sure if that's the right I'm not sure if I'm remembering it correctly, but uh, that could be like, and actually probably most of you guys who are just high school students, you've probably never heard an argument like that. But like the idea of the individual may not have existed until before Hamlet. I mean, that's kind of a provocative claim, right? But if I may be misrepresenting Harold Bloom right now, this is just sort of like my fuzzy memory of things, but the general sense in sort of anthropology here is that people really before the idea of the individual kind of became a real thing in the Enlightenment era, people were really just defined by their functions or their relations to other people. So you had roles to play, and you could be like son, you could be like peasant, you could be like serf, you could be lord, right? But you had to you had to enact your role. You had to live up to your role, and the sort of interior, the psychology of what's going on in your head and your heart, like before the individual was ever quote unquote invented, it didn't matter what you were thinking, what you were feeling. And so I think that's Harold Bloom's argument about Shakespeare in general, and maybe about Hamlet in particular. And I think that's an interesting way to think about the significance of a play like this, because I don't think any of us have ever lived in a society where the idea, or any of us English-speaking Americans, I don't think it's easy for an English-speaking American to really imagine what it's like to live in a society where your social roles are predominant. Okay, where who you are really depends on the other people with whom you are related, in relation to whom you are, that's kind of hard to say. Who you are depends on which relation to whom you are to whom in relation you are to. sorry, I'm just like getting fucked up by these prepositions. Anyway, so I think that's really hard for an American student to imagine. Now, I think actually Korea is an interesting society here, where Neo-Confucianism in Korea is it's probably the most alive in any country. Neo-Confucianism, that is, where Confucianism, or just Confucianism as a whole, really does valorize, like, specifically the relation to family, relation to maybe city, and relation to, or city, society, government, I don't know, country, and relation to, I guess, maybe to in relation to the king, to the divinely appointed king. So those sort of those what do you call it? Those relations are very real, and they kind of structure society in a different way for Korea. Obviously, Korea is also a modern society now, so there's a lot of tension there between the kind of ways that Confucianism plays out with a sort of like, honestly, the America-led new era century of the 19th century up until now, and did I say 19th? I meant 20th century till now, and and the and Hamlet in particular might have an interesting meaning for somebody who's from that kind of society, a society in which, again, your social relations are predominant. All right, so that's my general sort of theoretical, I don't know, framework for thinking about the relationship of the individual to society as we think about Hamlet in particular. Yeah. Okay. Hamlet was a son of his. The Victorians hero worshipped him. That's not something I actually knew. Let's see. Friends I'm following. I'm following this guy? Who is this guy? Okay, I'll go back to this guy first because Chris Villa seems to be very thoughtful, and I must have followed him for some other very thoughtful review for some other book. I'm kind of curious about the YouTube really. Oh,
Hey
Leaf
everybody,
Leaf. I see, I see, I see. It's because we follow each other on YouTube. Hamlet in Purgatory. An explosion of power. That's Greenblatt. This is Bloom. Freest artist, the freest artist of himself. Too large for tragedy for himself. Titanic. Power over language. It's a little bit too. It's a little hard to parse. It's really hard to get into that. It's just broad. It's just too abstract. Even this is too abstract. I don't know what to do with all these quotations, honestly. It contains everything. That also sounds really large. So I don't tend to gravitate towards super sweeping claims like this just because it's a little overwhelming when you're just trying to get excited about an idea. I guess it depends on your personality. Some people are really more ideas people, so you might be more excited by these kinds of claims. I just want to see, but I really do want to see like people emotionally reacting. Like I wept, I laughed. Like those are the kinds of things that I wanna see when I'm skimming through Goodreads. Because again, like as smart as we get about these things, at the end of the day, we need to enjoy the poem, the play in this case. So I want to enjoy it first and foremost, and I can do all the thinking later. Okay, I'm kind of skimming through this because I'm finding this a little too abstract, and I want. Okay, I'm getting beauty here, ghastly here, effect of art on the emotions. Still a little too brainy. I'm trying to get something more heart. Let's see. What do people get out of Hamlet, right? Okay, I'm going to skip all this and let's go to some of these shorter reviews in Goodreads. No earth-shattering insight. Stagecraft, moody. Okay, so this is as somebody who actually enjoys poems, oh sorry, plays, somebody who really thinks about plays. So about like kind of the way that you would actually set up the play. and is a writer. Okay, cool. Nothing else to learn there. I'm going to put this out of the way. All right, and then second, personality. We want the personality to be an enigma. And infusing the character with himself. Okay, that's kind of interesting, actually. This is like not super abstract. This is something I can kind of get without having to like think about history or anything like that. Okay, intensifies the sense of pity, horror, and waste. So this ends sort of like tragically, although earlier, as Harold Bloom was quoted as saying, he kind of goes beyond tragedy. So let's see. We're gonna have a very, 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 very compelling character, yeah, and very good mood setting. All right, that's something I can work with. The skinhead Hamlet. Oi. Okay. This is the entire. Actually, these are pretty good at kind of getting the essence, like the emotional essence of a story. I don't know about this particular version. Should I read the whole thing? Do I have the energy? Let's see. It might be interesting, honestly, because it will get me the entire. You know what? Yeah, I was gonna skip forward to a different review before coming back to this one, maybe, but I'll just do it right now. It doesn't seem that long. Here we go. This guy is definitely a character. All right, here we go. Battlements, Ghost. Yer. Okay. Okay, the first scene is okay. Good. Oh, you, Hamlet, give over. uh, they could have fucking waited. All right. Oi, what's your cock? Okay, now it's actually just now I'm just confused what's happening, but all right, here we go. Okay. I feel like this is more of an inside joke for people who actually know the entire story. It's hard to really parse the narrative just from this. Claudius. Okay, so Claudius is emerging as a villain of some sort with his ghost. And by the way, yes, I do not remember any of these characters really, even though they are parts of, they are the canon. I just have terrible memory and I just forget these things. To fuck or be fucked. It's so stupid. Okay, actually, this is just too much. I don't get it with this. It's too compressed. It has to be a little longer for me to feel like this is something that would actually benefit, like that would actually get me a general sense of what I'm looking for. It's too much. Here we go. Shakespeare when pitching this play. Angsty monologues. There we go. Okay, this is exactly what I want. I love Hamlet. I love his angsty monologues. I love his sassy remarks. I love that he can't seem to shut up. This is also her interpreting Hamlet as this age and this kind of character. I love everything about him avoiding Osric and his hat. I don't remember Osric. Relationship with Horatio. He's OT. Oh, what is OTT? Over the top. Oh, I had no idea. Okay. And I seriously can't get enough. Who have read this, watch this. Okay. Oh, John
The building 20th
Mulaney.
was flipped in 2014.
Oh, this is cool. This is great. This is exactly what I want. Hello. Oh, yeah, okay. This is definitely not even a... Oh, this is definitely a... Okay, you do have to... Okay. You definitely have to read Hamlet for this, because this is actually overwhelming. So basically what this is this is a... this is just John Mulaney not enacting Hamlet whatsoever. Some creative YouTuber just went and chopped up John Mulaney bits into things that fit into Shakespeare's characters in Hamlet. So, okay, so this is I'll pause on this one. I kind of want to come back to that one in the future. So that looks like it could be very funny. Favorite characters: Black monologuing about everything, more dramatic. Tragedy, but it's funny. Okay. Cultured woman now. All right, sure. Okay, this is... Okay, this is too much of a teacher vibe. I'm trying to get... No, yeah, we're too... yeah. I want... See, this is exactly the kind of word, like hate, terrible. These are the words I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for actual reactions. Santa Cruz, Shakespeare 2016 production. Every character's pain should matter. Hamlet shouldn't be an asshole. Wait, so she really doesn't like Kenneth Branagh? Oh, I see. Just, it's unclear, actually. But should be a teenager. Okay, you're supposed to care about scene 3.1, Act 3-1. Act 3, Scene 1. Okay, I actually like the amount of passion here, and I kind of want to come back to this. I probably won't remember to, but that I like this sort of opinionated take on how you're supposed to do Hamlet. So I'm getting that, you know, some people really do have this kind of intense love for Hamlet. What I'm really getting over time as I kind of read through all of this is largely that Hamlet is just a very compelling character, a little overdramatic, melancholic, brooding, monologuing on everything, and unable to really do much, sassy, witty, just the it's kind of like a literary soul is the vibe that I'm getting, and it's really that character that carries much of the experience for the people who do love Hamlet. And so I'm gonna go into this kind of exploring the character. And I think about it, dude. Like characters are so poorly constructed in modern cinema. I'm just bouncing off of Dune recently, but like the Dune 2, the characters were just not real. Uh, there was just not much going on with those characters. Um, and the motivations were very superficial for me and didn't feel very deep. I didn't feel a real connection with those characters. So I am missing that connection to the character here. And I'm hoping to get one with Hamlet. Prince robbed of his father and of his rightful crown as King of Denmark. Exciting tragedies, love and betrayal. Uh, Scheming uncle. Claudius. Gertrude. Okay, this is actually a great synopsis. I'm going to quickly remind myself of the story. Um, Gold? What? He must he must make himself look like a crazy person, but is he actually crazy? Okay, I don't remember that bit. Interesting. Interesting. Levels of the ambiguity. This particular who's John Barrymore? Do I know John Barrymore? An actor. Is that the right? I guess that must be him. Um, so the ambiguities, that's interesting. To not know whether Hamlet himself is crazy, to not know whether the mother, what's her name, Gertrude, seems to know, knows or doesn't know. This actually makes me want to come back to this particular one. Ophelia's character is not supposed to be this virgin. Don't take her agency away. Make her crazy. Sticks up for herself. Gertrude Wright. Her pain has to matter. He's obviously smart, but yeah, you shouldn't hate him. Okay. All right. Madness and Revenge. Madness and Revenge. Actually, Madness and Revenge reminds me a bit of Old Boy. And I just rewatched Old Boy recently, so I'm thinking maybe there's some resonance there that I can get. So, how similar does this sound to like Dune? Paul Atreus revenging his father by becoming emperor. Um, well, the difference is that Paul Atreus isn't really paralyzed by inaction. So, or like there was a moment in the second movie where it felt like he could have gone into that and we could have really juiced that a lot more in that movie, but it didn't really happen. So yeah, it was weird. That was probably my biggest criticism of that movie, of the second film. It just sort of like progressed for no reason because of crispy birds is basically what happened in that movie. It was not good. So not a lot of resonance there actually. But the resonance with Dune might be that there's Dune 2 rather is that there's like a sort of sense of like external circumstances forcing the hand of the prince of the young prince uh, and kind of compelling him forward or propelling him forward. In Dune, the issue is that the prince sees that his actions are going to cause mayhem and destruction and suffering. In Hamlet, what is the dilemma actually? I'm not too sure. Is it that there doesn't seem to be any specific right answer whether he should be. I mean, is he trying to murder his uncle? I think he actually is trying to murder his uncle, right? So, and I don't remember what happens. Holy crap. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna just say it's not too similar to Dune, but there's just a general framing of princes and kings and uncles. Okay, gonna move on. Um, Looks like, honestly, I feel like I've already had quite a bit of the positives here. So I will, yeah, everyone's really into the Hamlet being gay and or bisexual interpretation. Okay, here we go. This one actually is excited, but also does kind of walk me through the story. So maybe read this as my last review. I'm pretty tired now. Okay. Excited about the poetry. Spectre reveals son as brother did it. Okay, cool. Tortured. Take the sword and spill the blood again. So this part does feel very like connected to Dune 2. This feels a lot like Paul Atreides. And this feels a lot like, the Emperor slash House Harkonnen or whatever in Dune. And he's alone. This is unlike Dune because because Paul Atreides is not alone. I guess it really has to be Hamlet killing Claudius, but it will end in a sort of tragedy where maybe he ends up kind of mad, uh, with racked by guilt and I don't know. Actually, I just don't remember the ending, so it's actually crazy. This will be fun to read, actually. So I do not remember how Hamlet ends, and I don't know what's going to happen. So I want to come back to this in the future, so I'll leave that there. Don't know what happened here. And now, before I finish off the stream, I think I'll just sort of I'll just my copy of my I have a whole Shakespeare anthology, edited by David Bevington, but I'm gonna just look into different editions of Shakespeare and see which ones are highly reviewed. So best editor, Reddit. Okay, let's see what happens. Best version of Hamlet. Best version is probably the acted version, so let me see this. If you don't need notes or detailed introductions, Folger is fine. Or if you want a print version, Arden or Oxford with glossary. Okay, so you want notes. Folger has an introduction, cheapest. Oxford Worlds, second edition of the complete works with the critical edition introduction, line numbers, footnotes, 8 to 13. Arden is the gold standard. Each text has over 100 page. Critical introduction. Oh, okay. The Norton is the Stephen Greenblatt. And I think Stephen Greenblatt is new. I have to remember. New historicism? What was that? Yeah, wow. I'm shocked I remember these things. Okay. And I'm trying to remember what this means. New historicism, cultural poetics, 80s. Um, Please go further into that detail there. I want to know more about. Okay, here we go. Written extensively on Shakespeare, Renaissance, New Historicism, Cultural Poetics, Collective Project, Berkeley. So I feel like that represents the kind of school of thought that I dislike, but we'll see. Uh, we'll see what happens. Because, at the end of the day, the school of thought I may dislike, but his actual writing I may like. So, because usually the people who begin schools of thought tend to be pretty smart. So, I'm not shutting the door on this, but oh, Tyrant, 2016. What a moment. Moving on. Reduces the historical to the literary, or the literary to the historical, denies human agency and creativity, subvert the blah blah blahs, neither new nor historical, collection of practices to gain a more comprehensive understanding of literature by considering it in the historical context while treating history itself as historically contingent on the present in which it is constructed. Okay, yeah, I get it. That's a mouthful, and honestly, if you're curious about that, you and I should just chat over the chat, but it's honestly too collegiate, and I'm gonna just move on from that little bit. So do I want to read the Greenblatt version? Maybe, because maybe he'll kind of give me a lot of historical context on the thing. So the Norton Shakespeare third edition. Is there a PDF version of this, or the Kindle version of this? Three early versions. Quarto 1 is the bad one. Quarto 2 is the good Quarto. Longest. Folio 1 are genuine. And you're a non-specialist, get the Folger. If you want all the works in one place, get Norton. Riverside. Pelican, Bare Bones, Academic Fluff. Pelican. I mean, I guess I could use Gutenberg, but I don't really. I actually like having. I don't mind paying for scholarly essays. I'm thinking maybe I'll get. I think I want the Norton. So let's see if there's a Norton Shakespeare ebook. Okay. Third edition, 2-volume set. Cool. So this is actually edited for undergraduates. And I could download the ebook here for $42. Digital edition registration card, and for $100 I can get the actual paperback. But I already have a paperback. I have the David Bevington. Okay, maybe I'll assign it as a complimentary copy. Interesting. So let me just see what the Amazon Norton Shakespeare looks like. Can I even get the digital? No, I can't. So I have to buy it directly, it looks like. That's probably better, honestly, because Kindle is actually annoyingly restrictive, and I need a different way to read. Ooh, AP Tech TV, what's up? Amazing edition. Let's see, where are we? Website, ebook, reviews, ready now, Riverside, graduate school, standard, slows down. Okay. I'll probably do, yeah, I'll just do this. I'll buy this. All right, guys. So I got my sort of general framework for how to think about Hamlet. I shared all my thoughts about the potential connection to like Dune, and I kind of touched on maybe potential connection to Old Boy. Didn't really explore that. Now I figured out which edition of the Shakespeare I want to download, because I do have a physical copy, but it's back in Korea. It's not here where I am. And plus physical copies are hard for me to like, I can't show you the screen. I can't show you my book very well. So I'm going to download a digital version. I'm going to buy the Norton Shakespeare. If you guys want to read along with me, I'll be reading probably one act. It won't always be one act, but I'll be reading several scenes per week, every Monday at this time. So if you want to read along with me, maybe read ahead of me. So read like a couple scenes before I get there, and then listen to my reaction when I get there after you. That'll help you kind of get a sense of how the text is working in ways that you didn't notice. Specifically, you'll notice that I catch things that you didn't catch, that I react to things that you didn't react to. So this would be a good way to practice, practice reading, but also just a good way to just like a informational learning experience of just like, oh, that's what somebody who enjoys literature thinks when reading something like Hamlet. So go ahead and front run me on that. If you read after watching my reaction, I don't think that's going to be as productive, just because you're not even going to know what, because my reading pace and your reading pace are not the same. So you're going to be kind of lost when I'm scrolling through the play. So you won't be able to really follow along if I'm talking the whole time, right? So read before me is my recommendation. You said you did not get 700. Reading comprehension, I mean, Shakespeare, I don't really necessarily, I mean, Shakespeare will improve your reading comprehension, but if you're specifically focused on the SAT, Shakespeare isn't like a straight line to the SAT. It's a sort of curvy line. So for reading comprehension on the SAT, just do more practice tests. That's the way. So yeah, I'm gonna buy the Norton. I'll probably actually stick this in my description. So give me a second. Let me stick it in the description itself and follow, and you can read along with me. Here's the Norton Shakespeare. Okay. So I just added that to my description below. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna buy the Norton Shakespeare, and you guys can follow along. Last couple announcements. I will be doing. I have now 3 paid membership tiers. The first is Give Me Advice. The second is Give Me Structure, and the third is Give Me Knowledge. These are 3 paid YouTube membership tiers. You can sign up through YouTube, but you cannot sign up through iOS or iPad YouTube. You have to go on to your browser, either in your phone or to your browser on your laptop, and come to my YouTube page, to the join page. It's actually, the link is down in the descriptions below. What are these 3 membership tiers? Basically, the first one is just a weekly, twice weekly stream. I will stream twice on my Sunday, which is US Saturday, Sunday. So my Sunday in the morning and my Sunday in the afternoon will be US Saturday in the evening, and US Saturday in like a US Sunday at like some ridiculous time, when you're sleeping. Okay, I have 2 times where I stream. For Give Me Advice, I'm basically just doing an AMA where you guys can ask me any questions about the SAT, and I'll give you like answers to your questions. That one is the cheapest tier. The second tier is Give Me Structure. This is basically giving you a study plan based on the Blue Book practice tests, so that you have other people to study together with. Plus, you get group chat facilitated by me and a weekly stream reviewing the questions that you guys got wrong. So it's not a full class, but it's like a kind of it's like not exactly a class. It's really just a review, where I focus on giving you advice based on the errors that you guys were making. But it almost will feel like a class to some extent. So if you've already taken the Blue Book practice test, that might not seem very useful, but you can actually sign up for that. I don't think it's actually that big of a deal to retake the Blue Book practice tests, as long as you're learning what to change. I mean, obviously, there's a point if you like solve the Blue Book practice test like 6 times, then you're gonna start memorizing everything. So that's there's a certain level of reuse that you can take it to, but for most people, a second time is not that big of a deal. And then there's Give Me Knowledge, which is actually a class with reading questions and writing questions. The class will be focused more on the reading questions. You can learn more about all that in the description below. There's a link to my YouTube join page. When you go to the join page, you'll see the description there, and you'll also see links to calendars for how the actual schedule works, as well as what time I actually go stream. So that's all in the description below. Yeah, that's it for me as far as all that's concerned. If anyone's looking for one-on-one tutoring, I do offer that. It is not cheap, so just be aware. Just because, yeah, I'm very, very experienced now. So I will just wrap that up. I'm encouraging you guys to just, take a general interest in English. In my Discord server, we do word games. I'm gonna probably do reading and writing challenges soon, and then we also have the SAT community, the SAT help, and the college admissions help channels as well, where everyone's active. So come join, and make yourself at home. There's a bunch of other people who are in the same boat as you, and so you can row together. All right, so that's it for me. Next week, same time, my Monday morning, Eastern time, I think 9 p.m. Eastern time, 9 p.m. is when I'll start Hamlet Act 1. See you guys then, and until next time, keep on learning, keep on growing. Peace.